Your voice, your vote. It is Election Day. The stakes are high and the polls are still open. We have live coverage across the state of Arizona tonight from congressional districts 2 and 3 to the Republican Democratic celebration parties up in Phoenix. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Paris.
And I'm Stella Inger. We begin with one of the most closely watched Senate races across the nation. Congresswoman Martha McSally, Congresswoman Kyrsten Sinema are battling it out for Jeff Flake's vacated seat. We've got Craig Smith and Ivan Rodriguez standing by at both watch parties as the Congresswomen wait for results. First, let's go ahead and go live to the Sinema watch party where we find Ivan Rodriguez.
Stella, it's all slowly getting started here in downtown Phoenix at the Renaissance Hotel, and we're shoulder to shoulder, you can see now, with media outlets across the state here inside of this ballroom. Today, Kyrsten Sinema actually began her morning in Tucson at a polling station and then visited the U of A and a coffee shop before making her way back up here to Phoenix. We're expecting her here later on. The last couple of weeks, both Sinema and McSally have been very close in this highly contested Senate race. We're going to continue to be live from here, coming up in the 6, the 9, as well as the 10, as well as online. You can follow that then, and we're going to be continuing to be live from here. Live at the Arizona Democratic Watch Party. Ivan Rodriguez, KGUN 9 on your side.
Ivan, thank you for that report.
Yeah, we're going to go now to Craig Smith standing by at McSally's camp in Scottsdale, where she's expected to show up a little later on tonight. Craig?
A little later is the point here. So right now, this is really preparations for a celebration, a watch party that's going to be happening at the DoubleTree Resort in Scottsdale. Probably we don't expect to see a lot of action from the Republicans until maybe as late as 8 o'clock when some results may start coming in. But for the moment, we're going to go ahead and talk about the media, and there's really a news value to doing that, because this is a measurement of just how much national and even international attention the Arizona races have attracted, particularly the race for the Senate between Martha McSally and Kyrsten Sinema, because the current balance of power in the Senate between the two political parties is so close. If they have as much as 2 seats change from Republican to Democrat, that will change the balance of power in the Senate and a lot of the balance of power in American government. So all those media that you see here, you are looking at local crews from Tucson, crews from the national networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and also international networks. The BBC is represented here as well. All a measure of the very, very high value, high attention being paid to this particular race. And we will bring you the results as we get them and the reaction here from Scottsdale at the Republican Watch Party. But for now, reporting live from Scottsdale, Craig Smith, KGUN 9 on your side.
Craig, thank you. A third candidate for Senate, Angela Green, running under the Green Party, will also appear on the ballot, although Green removed herself from the race last week while also endorsing Kyrsten Sinema for Senate. Another seat up for grabs today, Congressional District 2. That's the seat Martha McSally is actually leaving vacant.
Yeah, and this is between Kirkpatrick and Leah Marquez Peterson. That's Ann Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick has served 3 terms as a congresswoman in a Phoenix district. Marquez Peterson, a CEO of the Tucson Chamber of Commerce. Now, your side's Natalie Tarangeli joins us live at the DoubleTree Hotel with the Democratic Party for CD2. Natalie.
Pat, Stella, now we've seen this district split between Republicans and Democrats going back a few years with Gabby Giffords, then with Ron Barber, and then Martha McSally. So this seat is up for grabs tonight, whether voters will elect Ann Kirkpatrick or Leah Marquez Peterson, the Republican candidate. And one poll right now shows Kirkpatrick has as much as an 11-point lead over Marquez Peterson. That's according to Real Clear Politics. And throughout this campaign season, both candidates have highlighted their differences as their strengths. Like you mentioned, Kirkpatrick is an experienced politician, 3-time congresswoman in the Phoenix area, whereas Marquez Peterson has no political history. She's led the Tucson Hispanic Metro Chamber for the past 9 years. Both women have strong Southern Arizona ties, both attending the University of Arizona. Kirkpatrick is a former Pima County prosecutor, whereas Marquez Peterson has lived in Southern Arizona for the past 40 years, representing many small businesses. So as the results start coming in at 8, we'll continue to update you on this close race. Pat, Stella, back to you.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, and we're going to have something to talk about coming up at 8 o'clock as well.
Absolutely. We want you to stay with KGUN 9 for nonstop election coverage. We'll be live on KGUN9.com, the KGUN 9 mobile app, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. We're going to bring you live results as they start rolling in from 8 until 10:30 tonight, especially with the Senate race. That one is going to be very close, so it'll be interesting to see if we're going to be able to even call it tonight.
Yeah, it could go into the wee hours for some of these races. We'll have to see. Kyler Diggs, what a beautiful day in the desert today.
Great day to get out there and cast your vote, and it looks like this weather's going to continue a little bit. Skycam showing lots of clear sky. Boy, we couldn't even find a cloud out there today, so let's go ahead and put some numbers up there for you. The highs so far, we went to 84 in Tucson, 84 in Phoenix as well, 86 in Yuma. We saw some 70s across Graham and Cochise County, a little bit cooler there in Show Low, but still everybody a little bit above average today for those high temperatures. Right now, we're looking at 75 in Douglas and Nogales, 82 degrees in Tucson, 82 in Phoenix, 75 in Safford. It's going to be a gorgeous night out there. A lot of clear sky. Look at this. I'll zoom out here on the radar and satellite. You can't even find a cloud out there, but we got a couple of changes on the horizon. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes.
Kyler, thank you so much. We're continuing our election coverage with another congressional district race impacting southern Arizona.
Coming up, everything you need to know about the Congressional District 3 race. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
Polls here in Arizona are still open right now. We want to take you to another congressional district that affects southern Arizonans.
Yeah, we're talking about the District 3. 9 Your Side's Taja Davis is live now at the Tucson Sheraton Hotel, where the GOP party will be there tonight. Taja.
Pat, Stella, volunteers are here setting up early, setting up banners and balloons. The candidates are not here yet, but here is who is expected to be here at the GOP headquarters party. We have Leah Marquez Peterson. She is running for Congress in District 2 and will be running against Ann Kirkpatrick. Congresswoman Martha McSally is vacating this seat as she runs for the Senate. And for District 3, Nicolas Pearson is the GOP candidate for Congress. He is running against Congressman Raul Grijalva, who is running for his 9th term in office. Now, the official start time for this GOP headquarters party is at 6:30 p.m., but the coordinators have told me that people probably won't start trickling in until about 7 after polls close to go ahead and see the election results. Here at the Tucson Sheraton, I'm Taja Davis, KGUN 9 on your side.
All right, Taja, thank you. And some polling locations in Arizona already experiencing some problems earlier today.
Yeah, 3 Maricopa County polling locations dealing with separate issues this morning. Really no surprise. They often have problems there. The problems this morning included technical glitches at 1 in Mesa and a foreclosure that locked up 1 in Chandler. Voters were rerouted to another polling place, causing long lines and delays. This isn't the first time voters have had issues in Maricopa County even this year. Many experienced problems while attempting to vote during the primaries, and of course we know all about their history the last 4 or 5 elections.
Well, some would say that's why Michelle Reagan lost in the primaries. Meanwhile, the FBI says it will be ready to respond to potential threats on Election Day. The Bureau assembling its war room at its headquarters in Washington. The goal is to make sure that any violations of federal criminal law and security threats to the election are appropriately handled. A specialized election crimes coordinator will also be dispatched. Their job will be to respond to complaints about election crime. And Facebook has booted over 100 accounts just hours before voters hit the polls. U.S. authorities tipped Facebook off to suspicious behavior that may be linked to foreign players. 85 accounts that were mostly in English were dropped off of Instagram, and more than 30 accounts in French and Russian were purged off of Facebook. There's no indication that voting infrastructures have been compromised, but officials warn that foreign operatives may be trying to influence voters.
Campaigns and organizations spent record money trying to earn your vote. The Center for Responsive Politics says the final numbers are coming in, but that it's, quote, safe to say it's a new midterm record. The commercial is this one you see here is for Georgia's Republican candidate for governor, Brian Kemp. Experts say it's hard to get an exact dollar amount because we use so many platforms and no company tracks them all. Here are a few estimates, though, from Kantar Media. It predicts $3.27 billion in TV and radio ads alone. It estimates digital ad spending to be about $900 million.
Well, we've seen that here in our state with
Yes.
McSally and
Record
Cinema.
numbers spent.
Over $90 million.
Yes.
And then we have Proposition 127. APS alone spent like $30 million
Yeah,
on
it's staggering the amount of money being spent.
Well, let's take a look at our weather. That's one thing we can talk about that's very beautiful today. Kyler?
Yes, it is. And none of that is even comparable to the value of our beautiful weather right now. Look at that. The sun going down behind the Tucson mountains. We've got some more warm weather on the way, but we are going to cool it off in the 7-day. We'll tell you how much.
Kyler, thank you. In just minutes away, Arizona candidates are in their final campaign push. What the gubernatorial and Senate candidates are doing on their final day today. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. In the final push to get out the vote today, candidates making public appearances across the state.
Yeah, gubernatorial candidates Doug Ducey and David Garcia both casting their ballots today. Incumbent Governor Ducey defending his seat against Democratic challenger Garcia. He's, of course, a longtime educator who has tried to use widespread anger over public school funding to unseat the incumbent Republican. And in the hotly contested spot for a vacated Senate seat, both Martha McSally and Kyrsten Sinema wrapping up their campaigns with a final vote push today.
Yeah, Sinema started her morning right here in Tucson at the Boys Chorus polling location. This was on the east side. She says she's using the final hours to thank voters.
We've been working on this campaign for a long time, but what I'm most excited about is to be able to thank Arizonans for participating in our democracy and for making their voice heard.
And Sinema will finish her day up in Phoenix, where McSally spent most of her day pushing the vote already in Phoenix. And McSally campaigning with potential voters at Chase Diner. This is in Chandler. The AP says she urged voters to, quote, carb a load, and then get back to knocking on the doors.
Yeah, lots of pancakes.
There
I
you
guess.
go.
Midterm elections are known for low interest and usually some low voter turnout, but this isn't just an average midterm election, it seems.
Yeah, turnout is on track to be higher than it's been in the midterm since 1914. That's according to the University of Florida. 38 million Americans voted early. They project that will make up 1/3 of the vote. So turnout would be 114 million people. That's 48.5%.
Now, KGUN 9 on your side. First warning weather brought to you by Casino del Sol, the soul of Tucson.
Okay, coming back to weather for just a couple of minutes. 82 degrees right now at the Tucson International Airport, and we are taking a live look. That's over towards Sabino Canyon. Look at that sun as it's setting in the west, making some nice color over there on the mountains. 32 degrees on the dew point right now, 16% humidity. The air is pretty dry, so as the sun goes down, those temperatures will drop pretty rapidly as well. Here's another view for you. This is from northwest Tucson, looking to the southeast over the metro area. And right now we're sitting on 71 degrees in Sierra Vista, 81 in Casa Grande, 80 in Ajo and Gila Bend. And we're going to take these clear skies right on into tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And with those clear skies in place, that means we're going to see some cool temperatures. Nothing too extreme, though, dropping into the lower 50s to upper 40s by sunrise tomorrow morning. Current conditions right now across the southwest, we're looking at 57 degrees in Albuquerque, sharing the same number there at the Grand Canyon. And then you go down in elevation, some 70s and 80s still on the map at this hour. 83 degrees in Palm Springs. A little bit cooler there in San Diego, 68 degrees. And you want to talk cooler, take a look at these numbers. In the last hour, 23 in Bismarck, 24 in Billings, 32 degrees in Minneapolis. There's certainly some cold air diving to the south out of Canada. And by early tomorrow morning, we're going to see some 20s and 30s as far south as Denver and Kansas City, 18 degrees in Bismarck. And then tomorrow afternoon, going to have a tough time warming up with that cold air, having that icy grip on the upper Midwest and the northern Rockies. 24 in Billings and Bismarck, 32 in Minneapolis, and only 42 degrees in Kansas City, and cooling down to 58 degrees in Dallas. So out ahead of all that cool air, well, we will find some rain, and that's exactly what we're seeing along the east coast there. There's that low pressure center of circulation right there over the Great Lakes, and in behind that we are seeing a little bit of snow in the upper Midwest, but This rain should move out to sea and leave behind some chilly air for much of the country. For us, we're in a dry pattern right now. We're kind of stuck in between systems. We've got a high pressure system off to the west. We've got a low pressure system off to the east. And in between that, we've got this northerly flow that will keep us dry and mild. But we're going to catch the tail end of some of that cool air a little bit later in the week, as you'll see in the forecast. But overnight tonight, still pretty comfortable, really, for this time of the year. 40s and 50s for overnight lows, about where we should be for this time of the year. And around the metro area, 52 in Salarita, 50 in Benson, 38 degrees in Summer Haven. And then for tomorrow, another gorgeous fall day around here with highs in the 70s and 80s, 84 degrees in Ajo and Sells and 3 Points. And as we go into the metro area, we'll see some 80s too. And then we will bring the 70s back by Friday, 78 degrees as we catch the tail end of that front off to our east. But we're going to remain dry over the next several days. In fact, dry all the way into the middle of next week. But notice how those temperatures do start to fall off back into the mid 70s through the middle of next week. And overnight lows will be dropping into the mid to upper 40s. So keep those jackets handy, you guys.
Kyler, thank you. Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away, and we do need your help.
How you can donate and help out the Community Food Bank as they try to help out families around Tucson and southern Arizona during the holiday season. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
Election day is here. Polls closing soon. Tonight at 6, we're on your side with all of your election coverage. You can also watch us live on KGUN9.com, our mobile app, Roku TV, Apple TV, all of that coming up all new at 6. It's that time of the year again. We need your help feeding local families this holiday season.
Yeah, that's right. Once again, we're hosting Thanksgiving on the Mayflower along with our radio partners, a food drive that benefits the Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona. It's helping happening this Thursday, November 8th from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. Items most needed: peanut butter, oatmeal cereal, granola bars, and non-perishable canned foods. Items can be donated at Bookman's Entertainment Exchange on Speedway east of Country Club, so a new location this year. And if you don't want to donate food, you know what? They almost would rather have the money as well, because they can buy meals, they can make it spread out a lot better. You're right. And TEP will match the first $25,000 in cash donated, so that turns the $25,000 into $50,000.
And don't forget to head to the 10th Annual Sahuarita Pecan Festival this weekend. You can participate in the Pecan Classic Fun Run or put your baking skills to the test in the Pecan Pie Contest. The festival has raised more than $100,000 for local charities since it started. And also, just bring your appetite. There's lots of food, lots of pecans.
And that's on Saturday, and it is a great time.
Yes, it is.
Perfect.
All right, we're going to take a look at your weather one last time when we come back.
You're watching, well, first you're looking at a beautiful look towards the southeast. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. If you haven't voted yet, about an hour and a half left to get to the polls.
Polls are open until 7 tonight, and we do want you to share with us your activities. These KGUN 9 viewers voted, and they sent us their selfies. We will show them during our election coverage tonight, so send them to us. You can email them to share@kgun9.com. We do have extensive coverage starting at 8 to 10:30. We're going to be online, so make sure you send in your photos. We'll have plenty of time to show them.
Exactly right. And, well, no excuses, as we said, today to get out and vote. It was a gorgeous day.
Beautiful evening out there and the beautiful weather.